And again, I mentioned Jayawardene as a coach, but Andy Flower, any strategic timeout, is the first person on the field. He's always been the same since I played with him many, many moons ago. Fantastic thinker of the game, good success rate in these tournaments and getting teams to finals. And he knows what it's about. And he will have been up all night working out a game plan against Southern Brave. He knows what he's doing.
Before we move on, I definitely just want to touch a little bit on a point that Gough brought up. I know you spoke about Andy Flower, but you also did touch on Mahela Jayawardene. And there's a couple of people drawing comparisons now with the Southern Brave to his very own Mumbai Indians in the IPL. And that's, a pretty big comparison to make. But in terms of their trajectory, always kind of losing the first match. And then there's all this questioning surrounding the team, but now look at exactly where they are. Both of you, I'm sure, working on the 100 and whatnot and being as well connected as you are. I'm sure you've heard talking, whether from the players or from others that have probably spoken about the impact of Mahela Jayawardene. Now, what have you guys made of it? Let's start with Gough.
Well, what I will say about Jayawardene is become the Guardiola of the cricket world. He seems to drop on. He seems to drop on the richest teams. The Mumbai Indians, if we all could have the dream job in cricket, it would be to coach the Mumbai Indians because they seem to pay all the big bucks. And the Southern Brave, they seem to have done the same thing. They got some big, big names in the auction and the way it went. And that's why I tipped him from the start. So he's got a nice little gig there, but he's so calm. He's so calm, Jayawardene. Playing against him, he was always, you could see he had a plan in place from start to finish. And from people I've worked with him, they do say he's excellent. I spoke to Mark Nicholas a lot before the tournament started, who's one of the managers of the Southern Brave. And it was his pick to get Jayawardene. And I said, you've gone for a safe set of hands there. And someone who's had success. When you have success and you're winning, it breeds success. And I think same with Andy, Andy is someone, whoever his coach wins. So I think it's important for Southern Brave to have someone like Jayawardene, such an iconic player himself within Sri Lanka and around the world, to lead them. It's someone for the players to look up to. And I do think that is important in cricket, especially.
Yeah, I think the other element as well is in these sorts of competitions, teams are literally just thrown together. So you turn up just a couple of days before the start of the tournament. So really, the coach does have a role to play in how quickly can you get your players to gel, whether it's, firstly on the pitch, you want everything to go well, but off the pitch as well. So I think the culture that you create is really important. Andy Flower, I think, was in isolation for a couple of their games. So that brought its own challenge. And I'd be interested to know how he managed that, how hands-on was he? Was he able to have much input into that? So there's been these other challenges as well throughout the competition that we wouldn't have in normal times.